right time and the right place is really important. Very, very much so. And you know, it might feel like a privilege, like, oh, well, we want to choose you to lead this change. But think about it, because again, you want it to be successful. So are you the right one for the job? Right? People, they don't. CEOs don't think about that. Well, I can trust so-and-so. Yeah, but do they have the skill set to lead sustainable change? Because it's a different skill set than it is to run a finance department. Or it's a different skill set to run the HR department. So just because they're qualified and successful in their own department may or may not make them a good leader of change.
And this goes against a great glacial truth going back to the Rand Corporation at the end of World War II, which is if you're a manager, a leader, you can manage, lead anything.
Right, exactly.
Which ain't necessarily so.
That's right. But however, if you become a change master, you do enjoy a lifetime of learning and adventure, right? All of that becomes really in your repertoire. And you know, I mean, there are some negatives for having jumped from industry to industry that I've experienced, but there's also a lot of pluses. So you have to decide in your lifetime, you know, where do you fall in the spectrum? So we kind of talked about the skill set aspect. Skills, attitude, attributes. So now let's talk a little about sustainability. Okay, so we've all heard the Mark Twain quote, right? Well, it's really not true. It really isn't true. I mean, some babies don't like change, and let's just face it. I mean, we all have fallen in both sides of the spectrum, right? Like take for example, we look forward to. Sometimes you look forward to getting married. Sometimes you look forward to getting divorced, right? There are things we look forward to, changes in our lives. We may not want. We think about moving. It's like, oh, moving boxes. But then it's like, yeah, but we want to be at this new place and this new house and this new environment, right? So a lot of it comes with this ambivalence that some parts of you, it's like, I don't know, like, should we merge these two departments? It's like, ooh. But then the other part is, oh, that could, that might help this. And then, so, it's like, oh, you got this thing going on, right? And so if you're going to lead change, boy, you better get it clear in your body which way you want to go, because you have to stand as a unit, right? You can't be, well, on this hand, well, on that hand. Once you make your decision that you're going to lead the change, you've got to go forward with it, right? And so sometimes we get passionate about it, right? When we want to see change in the environment, things like human trafficking. We want human trafficking to stop. It's horrible, right? So you maybe become an activist to help promote change, right? Well, that's change. That's change, and we want that. So there's times we really want that. So you can say, well, nobody likes change, but everybody wants change. All right, well, how do you rationalize that, right? So somehow there's people in the middle, us, that have to figure that out and help people through that ambivalence and to go with the things that you want to perform better. So the first thing that you have to say to yourself is, what is my passion for change? If I'm going to lead this change, how am I passionate about this? Because you want to be firm in your mind, or you probably aren't the one that should lead it, right? So you say to yourself, well, is it for survival? Okay, and of course Charles Darwin, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one most adaptable to change that survives. So that's how I kind of look at myself. I'm a Darwin. I've come through. Somehow I've lived through this, right? Or is it adventure? Some people like the adventure, right? The aspect of, ooh, I'm going to try this new software. Ooh, let's try this. Oh, let's try, and some people are like, oh, stop. But others are like really motivated by it, right? Oh, good, I hate doing the same thing day in and day out. This is going to be fun. It's like, okay, so you've got these various people in the way they look at it. Love of humanity. I mean, look at the good that Mother Teresa did, right? The ripple effect. one individual doing things her way. She was 100% committed to the passion of taking care of humans, right? So you have to first check passion. Check your passion on this. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to lead this change, where's your passion on this? Because if you are the leader, don't have enough passion, that isn't going to be a good thing long term, right? I mean, you really need to believe in it 100%. So if your boss asks you to lead a change, and it's like, you better have your boss tell you why. You better understand the why, because that's what you're going to have to put in your heart for passion. You've got to believe it. So,
I wanted to say something.
sure.
What I find a lot is that there'll be somebody that has a passion for change, and somebody will make a change. Maybe it's really a good one, but as soon as they're gone,
Right. Driven by personality.
a lot of
Yeah.
times that's true.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't sustain itself because it stays with that personality,
Right.
which is really cool.
So they made it, maybe they didn't actually lead the change, they just made the change for them.
Or it wasn't maybe long enough, or it just didn't permeate into the
And we'll
culture.
talk about some of those barriers here in a minute. But the first thing is, do you, as a leader of change, have the passion you need? And it may just be that, yes, you have the passion, but your kids are starting school, your husband's starting a new job, it's just too much right now. It's just too much. So, I mean, there's different reasons why you may or may not be the right person at the right time.
But you can't lie about it.
But you're gonna have to tell the story, and the leader of the change is gonna have to tell the story many times, many ways, to the same group of people, to a different group of people. You have to be able to sell this vision, right? How do you sell the vision? You have to talk about what you're gonna give up and what you're gonna get, right? Because if we can paint the pretty picture, what you're gonna get, a new home, beautiful new home, mountain view. Oh, I want that. I want that, right? But if you can't paint that picture, why move, right? So you have to not so much concentrate on what you're going to give it up, but what you're going to gain. And that is something that's the why. That's where the passion will rest. Well, this is my own theory. Okay, so the first law of thermodynamics, right, talks about energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? I'm not a scientist, so you scientists help me here. So if leadership wants to do things differently, right, then C must equal, we have to redirect the energy, right? So when people say, oh my gosh, I got so much to do already, and now you want me to change. Okay, listen to what that's saying. They think you want them to create energy. So as quality people, we all know this. What we stop doing is as important as what we start doing. We have to help them know what to stop. You know what? Let's have you stop doing that monthly report, because I hate to say it, but nobody reads it anyway. Right? Or, now that I meet with you on a regular basis, you don't have to write me a report at the end of the month. Help them figure out what they can stop doing. Right? And what they can start doing. Because you're just going to redirect the energy that's already there. And one of the biggest obstacles is, I don't have the time, right? So you have to help them find that time. And every person can give you information of things they do that they think is a waste of time, right? We all have that in our job. Why am I spending time on this? Help get rid of that for those individuals. They will be much more excited about taking on a new challenge if they know they can stop doing something. And that is our job, is to help them understand that. And yes, the change may make them more efficient. We know that, but you still have to get them to that point, right? So that's a real sensitive issue. What